One of my favorite ways to relax over an evening is to go make a map because I just love the idea of noodling along in some creative process where I can click little stamps and icons and play around until I am feeling like I'm making something and having a blast. And I just a couple of days ago released issue 1 of my digital magazine, the Broadsheet, where I introduce players and dungeon masters to my metropolitan Flintlock fantasy by gaslight setting, which is like a mega city called Blackguard. And in that magazine, I had this. This here is the Argent Sector, and it's a little city borough map of one map inside that district. The idea being that each borough we go to has a different city map in it. And I want to make one borough a month, which means I have to go start making the next map as soon as possible. So if you want to watch me come do that, stick around and we'll do that over the course of this video. So, welcome to Mystic Arts. My name is Daði. I'm a professional writer and director, and I've been DMing for over 10 years. But before we get into it, we're going to just catch up with chat and see how everybody's doing, because this is a live stream. But if you're watching the VOD, I'll make sure to include somewhere an index where you can go and skip through to when we actually start. How'd you guys like all that editing? This is my new stream deck. I can now just click buttons. And look, it just sort of zooms in on my face. Whoa. You know? Or cuts over to the screen. Yes. Look at that. Hi everybody. I see there's a lot of wells in chat. I understand I'm late. It is very late in Iceland times. I've never streamed this late on a Saturday. I tend not to stream on Saturdays at all. Revi. What Icelandic tunes are you listening to? Yeah, I got loads of buttons. We'll see them throughout the show. I don't want to spoil everything right now, but I'll just sort of click this fancy little... it came apart. It's fine. I fixed it. I didn't break it. This fancy little stream deck. And I've got the new camera, so it now has a better focus features. Mr. Mink, Jesus. Sounds jovial. Are they heavy metal? Zoom, enhance. There you go. I'm having a blast. I could just sit here and play with these buttons. Yeah, hell of a map. Look at this. And I can even turn off my face, and you can just look at the map. This here is the Argent Sector. We made this for the zine, and it's just an Inkarnate map. It's in the 4K scale. The stamp's somewhere between 23 and 28. Now, this isn't the full resolution export. It's the one with all the text on it, and this one goes into the magazine. It sort of fits on a 2-page spread in the magazine. And this here is just all the sort of houses and things named. Now, normally when you're looking at maps like this, the names all have a number on it. You know, it might go 12 Bells Bolts, 13 Tin Gawker. And the idea is that they don't put the name on the map, they just put the number, and then you go and flip through your gazetteer to find what part references what part of the magazine. But we just wanted to put it in alphabetically. We just wanted to put the labels on the map, so you would just go through alphabetically and you wouldn't have to do, hopefully, as much flipping back and forth. I'd be interested to hear if anybody has tried this, whether or not it's working for them. That's so funny, Tristan Mage. Well, I have a crystal ball that lets me see what everybody's up to, and then that's how I decide what videos to make. Any opinions on the new Heroes of Faerun book? Or I haven't looked at it. I haven't taken a look at that at all. But from what I hear, people have complicated opinions. So I don't know. I hate numbers on maps. Yeah. That same, because you look and then everything's in numbers and you don't know which is which. So I really wanted to just get this here and just get labels on everything. And then, hopefully, that's all you need. Hang on. I wanted to show you, because we also had an unlabeled map. As a part of the sort of art package that members would get, they would also get this map with no labels, and it's in much higher quality, so they could zoom all the way in and use it. Because whenever I'm running D&D, I often have the TV on the wall, and on the TV I'll Chromecast on it something like this, and then I can just sort of use my cursor to say, yeah, you guys are walking up this street here, you can see this row of trees, you can see the train station, you know, I'd sort of, like a guided tour. And I had a lot of fun with that. Well, apparently, Magnus, I don't know if you've been following, but a lot of strange decisions were made after the UA after the UA came out. Station slums is where all the tough poor people come from. Yeah, a little bit. AB's here in the background. I don't know if you can tell, but she got a haircut, and half her hair is blonde now. Do you want to show him off? Look. Blonde.
I'm trying to fucking align with the camera.
It's over there. Blonde. Not blonde. Blonde. Not blonde. Cute. Yeah, you have to memorize all the numbers. It's dreadful. It's dreadful. Hi, Rodrigo. No, I'm live. Yeah, so I wanted to get started on a different map like this, and I have this this other version that looks like this. This is the sort of zoomed out version of Blackguard. It's not the one I have sometimes shown up in a video or stuff like that, but the issue with the map that I've normally been using is that you can see each individual block of housing, and it makes it seem like the city is much smaller than it is. So I wanted to move away from that. And this one's got some lines on it, but also some bubbles or something, and it just feels more vague, which kind of felt useful to me. But the thing we're moving on, so we were just looking at the Argent Sector, this bit here, which, look at that. Bam. That's pretty good, I think. But now we're going to do the interchange, which is this sort of central district right in the middle. Magnus is replying to a chat I missed. Oh yes, Magnus DM'd. Yeah, he DM'd Odyssey. Odyssey the Dragonlords is really it's a fantastic setting. They just launched the 2024 remaster campaign. So it's for the new edition of D&D, but it's also like more books and more art. They reached out to us to sponsor a video, and I didn't have time for them. I've just been too busy with the zine. But there is a link here, and go check it out if you think they're awesome. I certainly had a lot of fun running it. How did I make this larger map of the whole city? Is it a tool, or did I get an artist to make it? This here is, so there's a map generator called ProcGen Arcana, or made by ProcGen Arcana, or made by Wadabu. We have a video that we made about that tool. And what it does is it generates sort of all these blobs, and you can just keep generating them, or keep moving icons around or whatever. I have no idea. I must have said something weird. Sorry, Magnus. Yeah, Wadabu. And this city is actually 3 of those generations stuck together. So this underlying string of boxes here is a ProcGen map, and so is this bit here a different ProcGen map, and this bit here a different ProcGen map. And I've sort of attached them all in Photoshop, drawn a few elements by hand, put a bunch of labels over it, put that into Inkarnate, put a bunch of brushes over it, put a color difference mask on the two, and then I've got it here. And all I wanted to do is I just wanted to sort of put a few labels on it so that I would sort of get a sense of each district. but I wanted to get all the numbers off there. Happy Saturday, everybody. Any advice while playing while sick? Avoid it if you can. You don't want to get other people sick. I say that, but there are plenty of times where we decide to play while sick. Make sure to drink plenty of water. Let everybody know. Make sure everybody's okay with a sick player being at the table. If you're playing in person, you know, sniffles and you know, ugh. But also just getting everybody to know means that you are okay if you need to stand up or take a break or whatever. There are plenty of times where we've been playing where something comes up and somebody isn't feeling so good, or they have to move away from the table or lay down on the couch or whatever. I have a very fragile little stomach that gets upset easily. So there are plenty of times where I just have to leave the table to go have a little snack or go lie down or something. So just communicate. So what I did is I took this map and I put it into Inkarnate as a brush. And you can see this is a different version of the map, but you can see the interchanges here. And I've drawn the river. Like if I delete this, you can see that all that's on the map right now is the river. Got some houses. Ooh. I broke it. Hang on. How did I break it? Just got here, man. Don't make me break everything. Yeah, like a mask. Mask's important. Well, it seems I busted it, and it's now working less than it was before. But we're going to take the opacity here. We're going to turn it way down. We're going to grab a little brush. I like the roughness being at the minimum scale I can get it on. And this is going to lag my PC. It always lags my PC when I do this part of the mapping process. I don't know why. There we go. Now we have a little river. Do I worry too much? Do I worry too much about making a region or city map look realistic when sketching them out, or just getting something down and fine-tuned in detail? Oscar, there are plenty of times where I just find a map online or from some module, and I put it into Photoshop, and I scrub off the name, and I put my own name on there. That's it. Sometimes I just describe a place and I don't get a map going. Otherwise, I do like to spend a little bit of time sort of making sure that I believe in the city. Now, whether that's too much time or not, that's going to be up to, you know, my own sensibilities or anybody else's sensibilities. But in order for me to be able to pitch the city to my players, I have to believe in it. And if I don't believe in it, yeah, the place name, yeah. If I don't believe in it, then I can't pitch it to my players as the DM. So your main job as a dungeon master when you're world building is create a world that you believe in. And the bits that make you scared because you don't understand them, those are usually the bits that you should focus on, because they're the ones you're thinking about, and they're the ones you need in order to believe in it. Oh, hey, it's Elder Goblin. Everybody say hi to Elder Goblin Games over here. So I've got these borders. Hang on. Let me get a house brush. Hopefully it doesn't crash this time. Somebody also asked, is the paid version worth it? I think so. I've paid for many years. I've been using Inkarnate, and I've been a very happy customer. I made a couple of videos, and they sent me a paid subscription that I've been using since. So obviously I'm happy with that. But before then, I was paying for this software and using it all the time, and I will continue to do that even if I run out of the paid subscription they gave me. I'll go for it again. I'm really happy with the software, but I think the free version also has plenty of stuff in it to try out. I don't think the free version is enough to go make a bunch of maps. It is. I think I made about half a map with that, and I was like, I like the software, fine, I'll pay for it. Egg. Elder Goblin Games. Egg. Yeah, so this here's the border. So what I did with the Argent Sector map is I just sort of filled in the borderline all along it. Like I just did the houses along the border, so I might just go do that. Because the reason I like the Inkarnate maps is not just that the maps look fairly good, but it's that they have all kinds of sort of brushes and tools that make it fairly easy. So I can go grab here the medium red building blocks. And I've got them in a 25 brush scale so that it'll match the Argent Sector scale. This here is the street that we have in the Argent Sector. This street here. Hannigan Street it's named. And so I'll just go move, you know, houses like this and go pluck. Ah, opacity's low. Gotta put the opacity back. You know, plonk, plonk. Put a little space. Those are my roads. Yeah, I'm firmly in the interchange section. And then I'll go grab this corner element, and I can sometimes use those to create interesting looking... Oh, actually, let's use this one. That's great. And go grab this again. You can hold down Alt and cycle through the brush types. And go nerd. Look at that. These are all the red housing brushes. I probably want to actually make it be the blue ones because this is the interchange. So I'm just going to delete this. I didn't want to delete the map underneath. I'm going to lock that. Lock. Can we get that down? Control arrow. Delete all these. Start over. Here we go. Blue. Could I have just sort of color shifted them? Probably. Do I care enough to do that? Not really. Oh, I should have... God dang it. You know, if I keep messing up, maybe I will just color shift them. Because you can go to here, you can select anything, you can go to the hue settings and move the hue. Oh, look at that. One thing I also did with all the brushes in the Argent Sector is I desaturated them a little bit because they were a little too bright, in my opinion, for Blackguard, which is supposed to be a little more sort of, I don't know, grimdark, I guess. So I would just like to sort of get these brushes here and plop them along. Bob Ross of maps. That's sweet. It's very kind. I'd love to just exude that sort of vibe. So here we're slowly getting slightly out of sync with the outline we have. So I'm just going to move them in line with that. And then hopefully continue along that trajectory. Now the idea being that eventually these roads, they should all converge into Mont Circle, which is a large sort of roundabout park. It's both a park and a roundabout and a plaza. And I'd love to just get that sort of looking centralized and central and pretty. And I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but that's all right. I'm just going to continue plopping down houses. And trust in future Daði. Future Daði's got a decent track record with making sure that the nonsense current Daði gets up to isn't too bad. So we're going to make this a little wider. Yeah, and then that'll go down, this'll go down, we'll create a little triangle out of that. Yeah, this city could eat Brindle. The one of the main characteristics about Blackguard is just how massive it is, and it's always difficult when you've got a massive city because you sort of, the scale is a part of selling it, which means that whenever you feel like you're not doing the scale justice, you feel like you're setting down. And that's kind of what makes it difficult to run big cities, or can make it seem daunting. Now, I don't think it's as difficult as people think it is. Because I love running Blackguard. Obviously, I do. I mean, I made it. I love it. So the next scene that I want to do, I want to make sure that we have some tools in there that have guidance on how to run a city this scale, including just some generative tools like tables you can roll on and stuff that make you feel like you've got everything under control. Now the outline here is disagreeing with what I'm currently doing, and that's okay. The outline isn't my boss. I'm probably going to end up changing the outline quite a bit. See, this plaza here goes all the way over to the ocean. I don't think that's true. I think there's a different plaza by the ocean, or the river, the Red Line River. And I think it's got like piers and stuff on it. See ya. Thanks for coming along. Aras with the thirst comments. We get all kinds of those on the channel. They're hilarious. Oh, hang on, I was keeping the wrong line straight. Nerd, 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 nerd. Break it. Sometimes you might feel precious about the stuff you're doing and unwilling to compromise, but you know, this should ideally be relaxing enough. The process, I mean, that you don't worry about that stuff. You just put down the things you think are fun and interesting in a given moment. You know, everything else is secondary, you know? There you go. Now we have this sort of big block, this neighborhood. Yeah. There's a massive empty thing, but we'll get there, right? We'll get there. Funny thing about Inkarnate too is when you zoom out, it sort of, what are you doing? And then you zoom back in and it's like, yeah, that's fine. It just seems fine with that. Now remember, roads are just the absence of houses in a structured way, so sometimes you come upon, oh, hang on, look. There isn't really a road out of this. Alright, that's fine. We'll just rotate some things around, and there we go. Now there's a road. Look at that. Bam. And again, we're sort of adding shape to all these places, right? Do people celebrate Halloween in Iceland? Let me tell you a story. Oh, logo. Let me tell you a story. I opened the door, just like we got a ding dong, and I walked over, and some kids had rung the doorbell. I open it, and they're standing there in their spooky costumes, and they just sort of blankly stare at me with their bags, and I go, "We don't have any candy." And they go, "Oh," and they walk away. I'm left scratching my head because we don't celebrate Halloween in Iceland, or at least we didn't when I was a kid. But in the last few years, kids have started celebrating it, and they go to residential houses, and they knock on the door, but the adults have never been a part of Halloween. So they're knocking on doors, and I'm sitting there going, it has never been my job to buy candy for other people's children once a year. In fact, we have our own costume holiday in Iceland called Ash Wednesday, which happens like in just before Easter normally, And the kids go around and they sing songs, and they typically go into like banks and local businesses, service businesses, and they sing songs and they get candy. And that is its own thing, and that's sort of expected at least a little. I remember doing that as a kid. But now kids are knocking on my door, and we deliberately shut off all the lights because we're like, we're not a part of this American holiday that's sort of taken over here. And also, I'm sorry, are the kids going to be dressing up twice a year now? Is that how it is? Are we going to be doing our Icelandic historical Ash Wednesday holiday? And also Halloween, which we've imported for some reason in the last couple of years? That seems bizarre to me. I'm sorry, are you listening to me? Isn't it ridiculous?
I'm just laughing at you because you're so angry about it.
She's laughing because I'm angry about it. The Ninja Monkey. In the UK, you only knock on the door of a house with a pumpkin. Yeah. If I had a bunch of spooky stuff outside, obviously that means I'm going, hey, I'm taking part in this. But no, we're hiding in our apartment, and these kids are going, They didn't say trick or treat. They didn't sing. God, you got to make these kids work for it, you know? No, I'm kidding. They go to banks in costumes? Yeah, that's what you do. You go into banks and you sing a terrible song. You can only sing any song you want, but all the kids sing like a terrible... you don't know what Gamle Noe is, but that's what they sing. It's ridiculous. What would be your suggestion if I wanted to make a city map going into the mountains? That sounds awesome. Probably have a bunch of mines in there. If you mean an Inkarnate, I mean, you should use the hills brushes, especially the hills composite brushes, or if you have the Pro Tools, you can grab the pen. Grab the rocky outcropping thing. Hang on, where's the... There's like a rocky outcropping thing. Dark cliff, and you can go... And then you get like this cliff stuff. No, they don't do that in America. We have our own holidays. We have it's called Ash Wednesday. It's not in October. Also, it's November 1st. Back me up, baby. Isn't Halloween in October?
Yeah, I don't know why they're here today.
Why are they here on November 1st? I was already confused. I was like, I thought this was done. Yeah, so we have our own version of this holiday, and it's... I don't think it's better or worse. I don't understand why people think we're gonna do both. That seems absurd to me. Maybe I'm just in a foul mood. I might be. At least they gotta say trick or treat, you know? They can't just go, I mean, that's how kids talk. I don't know. I don't know if kids are like that in other cultures, but here in Iceland, the kids just sort of go, I mean, I'm definitely in a foul mood. Ash Wednesday sounds like a day for a massive fire that erased a huge part of the city. Yeah, it sounds cool. There's a lot of stuff like this I've done in Orathon where there is a thing in Icelandic that is perfectly normal to my Icelandic players. So I use it as a shorthand for them to understand, oh, this is what Daði is talking about. He's talking about this thing that exists in Iceland. This is most clear with our days. Like I have a moon day, which is Monday, because mánudagur in Icelandic is literally translated to moon day. And I don't have Tuesday, I have third day, because the Icelandic calendar, Tuesday is called third day. Þriðjudagur. So I just use those sort of elements and then I put them into my players. And it's a shorthand for them, but then I introduce it to other people and they sometimes go, ooh. Yeah, so now we got a couple of city blocks here. I'm kind of happy with these. We've got a little road here. This house is bugging me. So I might just leave it empty. But there we go. Right? I know those are not city blocks. The thing they're made of is city blocks, but you know. How did I get the opaque map in the background? This, you can just go into Inkarnate and you can upload your own stamps. So I've uploaded a Blackguard Map stamp that is just the map that I made with Proxy and Arcana and Photoshop, and I've stamped it on the background so I can use it as a reference so that the scale is accurate. Genius, right? That's me. I'm the smartest person on earth. No, I'm not. I'm just a guy going click click on some map for an imaginary shooty gun bang bang game. Do I print out my city or combat maps? No. No, I don't print them. I have a video on the channel about how I do Chris Perkins's Map Foo and how I draw the battle maps. I just call a break whenever combat starts. I say, all right, everybody, let's go to the bathroom and stuff. And then I draw on the map. Because I have a table. I have a gridded table in my living room. I also have a video on that. And it's got a huge grid on it. And all the like boxes are on there, and I just draw right on the table while everybody goes to grab a snack or go to the bathroom. I'm gonna put different houses here because I can and I want to. So I think battle maps are gorgeous. You know, the Chapeko ones are amazing, but I don't really use them. I don't really, because I don't play online. I really detest playing online, if I'm honest. Sometimes I get invited to a game or something like that, and I'm always a little bummed out, because they're really cool people who want me to play games, often games they made or designed, and I have to tell them, listen, if I play your game online, I will hate it, because I do not enjoy playing online. I dislike the experience vehemently. For me, D&D is that thing that happens at the table when we're all talking and experiencing an emotion together, and we're making eye contact, and we're registering, we're getting empathy right through the person sitting next to us. That's what the game's about. Anything else, I feel, is a pale imitation. That's me. I don't talk about that way too much, because I know that for plenty of people it is the only way to play. It is the only way they can play. So if it's online or not at all, I would choose online. But if it's online or in person, and as somebody who plays three or 4 games a week sometimes, I have that option. In person, every time. Every time, easy, no contest. Plus, when you kill a player, it's a lot better if you can look them in the eye, you know? I'm sorry, you say. No, I'm kidding. I nearly killed AB the other day.
Such a stupid way.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know what a gas spore is in D&D, but they have like a hit point and 5 AC. And when they die, they blow up, and anybody in the emanation has to make a DC 15 con save or get a disease that kills you in 1d12 hours. And they don't have a cleric in the party. Like, all they had to do is cast Lesser Restoration, and they can't. Luckily, AB had, just before, in a different adventure, gotten, like the session before, I think, gotten a... And one of the options was a scroll of any of your choice, of 3rd level or lower. And the wizard got really excited. He was like, "Oh my god, I can just pick 2 extra 3rd level spells. I can put fireball and hypnotic pattern on there, and I don't need to worry about it." And then this happened. And he was like, "Oh," and he made a check to identify the creature and how it worked. So I handed him the monster manual, and he read it, and then looked up at AB and Maeve at AB's character, and was like, "You're probably going to die. Give me your scroll." And he had to make a check. In my game, I let players use scrolls that aren't on their spell list as long as they make a DC equal, the check being equal to the spell plus the spell, the DC 10 plus the spell's level, or plus twice the spell's level. I don't remember what it is. And he's got lucky, and he's got inspiration, and they've got 2 patches of these scrolls. So he tells her, out of character, he's like, "AB, I'm 90-something% likely to get this." Rolls with advantage, succeeds. Scroll disintegrates. AB is no longer about to die from a CR 1/8 insta-kill creature, or whatever it is. Yeah, Magnus is correct. The DC is now 10 in the new edition. The hit points are higher. The AC is higher. The insta-death is equally insta and equally death. But I sort of started running the old version because I looked the stat block up online. Even though I have a bookshelf behind me. A lot of the times I'm like, I'm just going to use this bookshelf, and then I end up, for some reason, looking it up online. And it usually causes me more trouble than it would have if I'd just done the thing I say I'm going to do and used the rules as is. But there we are. It's frustrating. Oh, look at that. It's a neat little nook. I'm quite happy with how the shapes are shaping up. You can see whenever I scroll out, Inkarnate just on the fritz. VR TTRPG systems. I don't know. Whenever I hear that kind of stuff, I always just don't get it. Now, if you're excited, don't let me spoil it. But if I'm gonna play a computer game with my friends, I want to play a computer game. If I'm gonna play a tabletop game, I'm gonna play a tabletop game. And I see no reason to play a computer game as a board game. Like the Europa Universalis board game. Does not interest me. The Europa game, I've never played. I've tried a little, and I want to try again pretty soon, but I know the 5th one is kind of intense, and is coming out just around the corner, I think. Oh, hey, yo. Making me more and more interested in DMing. You should DM. It's a lot of fun. It's it's a creative thing you could do with your friends in a safe environment where you don't need to sell a book to a publisher or anything. You can just do it. It's a blast. I recommend it. And it's not as difficult as it looks. It can be a lot of work. Don't get me wrong, it's a lot of work. November 4th? How excited are you, Magnus? You must be freaking out, right? I know I would be. I remember I was just childishly giddy when Crusader Kings 3 was coming out. Are any TTRPGs board games or its own thing? No, TTRPGs are not board games, right? That seems ridiculous. No, like you get the I don't know, like 3rd edition, for instance, felt a lot like somebody wanted to design a video game. Of course, we say that with the benefit of hindsight, knowing that it doesn't have to be that way. But plenty of people seem to miss it. So. And there are plenty of RPGs that I feel like are board game-esque, and I am skeptical of that. Skeptical of that instinct, you know. People complain that there's too much burden on the DM a lot of the times in D&D, and I get it. Being a DM can be a lot of work. I don't think it's very hard, but it can be a lot of work. But it's work I like doing. So whenever a game system promises it's going to make it easier for me, and it's going to, it now has systems that make it so that I can't do as much work, and now I'm free, I roll my eyes. I'm like, then why would I play? I came here to be creative. I came here to have a creative outlet that doesn't stress me out most of the time. That's just for my friends, and I get to make them laugh and have fun. I get to share something that I made with them and have it be beautiful and exciting and fun. Wasn't 4th edition considered video gaming? Yeah, it was. I think that's bizarre because a lot of the people that said that were 3rd edition fans. And 3rd edition is the most video gaming. You get these sort of floating modifier plus 1, 2, 3 circumstance bonus if you're standing on a hill and pointing down, and if you're looking up and you have the high ground, or if you move 10 feet first, then you have a plus 2 bonus. No person could keep that in their head ever. In fact, most 3rd edition nerds, and Magnus will back me up here, most 3rd edition nerds have the player has a special feature whereby if they miss an attack, they can sit there and think and slow the game down by like 3 or 4 minutes until they, and they remember that they secretly have a +1 they forgot about that would have made them hit instead. I did not enjoy that style of play. I ran a multi-year campaign in that style of play, in that game, and it ended when one of my players was missed by the attacks of 100 normal people, because he had this huge AC, because that's how that game works. You have like an AC of 78, and they all missed him, and he was like, great, and then he looked up and said, Daði, I'm not having fun. So we stopped playing that edition, and we've never looked back. That's just sort of how I left 3E and have not looked back. And there are games like, people are excited about the new Pathfinder game. And there are loads of people, like, these are all games for different people. I spend a lot of time with dungeon tubers who get excited about different RPGs than I do. And they're telling me, what those games offer. And they're obviously excited about the game they're excited about, as they should be. That's what's beautiful about this hobby. We can all have different opinions. So one of these fit? No, let's get that thing in there. And they're telling me about them, and they're obviously excited. And they're telling me why they're excited, and I sit there and I nod along, and a lot of the times I just don't get it. But that's not me being superior to them or anything like that. They hear me talking about 5e and they don't get it. They're like, why do you like this? And I'm like, yeah, fair point. What's beautiful about this world is that we like different things, and that should be celebrated. We are all different. We are all individual. I'm not. Yeah, so I don't mean to say that, Pathfinder isn't a good game or is badly designed or anything. No, nothing could be further from the truth. It's just for different sorts of people, liking different sorts of games. And I always get a little uppity. I get Pathfinder specifically because there's a lot of people online who will comment on every video I make, telling me that I should be playing Pathfinder instead of the game I'm playing. And it usually boils down to Pathfinder has a system for the thing you say isn't in 5e. And I'm like, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. They have a system for everything. That's not the issue. And there was a video I talked about in the new Brennan video where I'm talking about cutting, and I say you can just have things happen. Somebody pointed out that there's a system in Powered by the Apocalypse that lets DMs do that. And I think okay, cool, that sounds fun if you like Powered by the Apocalypse, but I don't need a system to tell me what I can and can't do. I just need the consent of my players. If I have their trust, it turns out I can do whatever I want. As long as they're happy, and I'm happy, we're having fun. That's all I need. And I'm perfectly happy with that. Don't see that much difference between 3.5 and 5. It's fair, I think. They're among the closest systems in D&D's sort of range of editions. 4e, if you open a 4th edition book, it just looks very different. If you understand the text, you realize it's not. It's the same thing. But opening up and seeing all those little boxes of powers and the words are all different, it's a little freaky at first, but they're basically the same. And notice if you're observing, not for me rambling on about additions and all that, you'll notice that a lot of what I'm doing right now is just putting in the roads. I'm making it so that I have structure here later, and I'm deleting houses willy-nilly because it's not about the houses right now. It's about what I'm setting myself as a framework for later, and that's what it's all about. Now there is this sort of pier or like bend in the river down here, and I think that would be a richer, nicer neighborhood. So I might go put up a little bit of work into that. It's all up to your table, but I couldn't see teaching new players anything but 5e. I get that. The thing with D&D, and this is sort of, I'm happy that at least in in the last year or so, it seems like D&D has realized this more and more, that it is their job to be a DM's first stop or a player's first stop in playing the game. And a lot of these other games see it as their job to do something different. And that's usually where you see games succeed. When you see a game that's a lot like 5e, slightly to the left, a lot of the times I don't know if they're succeeding, but then the more risks they take, the more different it starts to go, the more I get excited again, because I'm not looking through the system going, why wouldn't I play 5th edition? Because I like 5th edition, and the game needs to convince me that I would like this better at this one thing. And now I'm reading a lot of systems that I've been talking to loads of people and trying to figure out games I like, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to try that's different, and I've been having a lot of fun with that, finding things that are radically different. Feels, yeah, Carol, this does feel kind of therapeutical. I'll be honest, I've been in a sort of bad mood all day, so me just sitting here and putting in boxes is more for my mental health than it is for your entertainment, I'll be honest. Yeah, Magnus making a character in Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous the other day, and took him an hour and a half. He played 3.5 for 9 years. I would have dreaded being a new player. I got really excited about the idea, because the game I'm running now, the campaign I'm running, is obviously a hex crawl. And I got really excited about the idea of playing a hex crawl video game. So I was like, let me go get Pathfinder. I have them both on Steam. And I opened up the first Pathfinder Kingmaker. I think this is the first one. And I opened that one up. And I DM'd Pathfinder for years. I played a lot of it. I checked out in character creation. It had taken so long just to get the basics of who am I down on the sheet. And I'd already forgotten my interest. It was gone. I was like, why am I doing this? I could go do spreadsheets for fun instead, and I would enjoy myself. Wild. So I'm not happy with this little curly block of nonsense anymore. So I'm going to delete it and do something else. Can I get the this one here? Oh yeah, that's better. That's way better. But I've heard of Canvas of Kings. I've seen some ads for it. It looks cool. Map, please. Oh God, sorry. Thank you. I've just been noodling away here. Did I show you when I was talking about the rich district? Did you miss that? What are you talking about? Exploration activity. Yeah, yeah, I get that. A lot of when I'm adding structure on top of other material, talking about exploration activity, yada yada. I'm always trying to make sure that it sounds like normal language. Well, when we're doing the exploration rules, which we put a chunk of work into, uh, recently, just sort of updating it to look nice. We did a whole broadsheet sort of update of it. Uh, we wanted to make sure that all the other words were things you could say at the table without it sounding. So like it's a league away. It's not one hex away. 6 miles. That sort of breaks for me. But you can say, oh, it's a league. It's this much. Thanks, Anna. You showed that. Okay, cool. What other TTRPGs have gotten you excited? I was in next week's video. I'm going to talk about one of them. I was asked by my friend Taryn to talk about his game Vagabond, and he expedited the copy I backed on Kickstarter ages ago, because he wanted me to do like B-roll and stuff for the sponsored segment of it. But I want to talk about the game anyway because it's really cool. That one was a lot of fun. We played Dragonbane recently. I sort of bounced off of it, but I think I'm gonna get what I was hoping to get out of Dragonbane. I think I'm gonna get it out of Vagabond. Not the OSR element. I realized sort of halfway through running Dragonbane that it's more pulp fantasy, but I think Vagabond's gonna do a better job of it personally. Ooh. What else? I have a copy of Mothership that I'm excited to try because that's like Alien, the movie, the franchise. That sounds fun. I've been trying to get my hands on Shadowdark, but I have not succeeded. So I don't think I can get a lot further with this map without thinking about the mod circle, which is the sort of half half roundabout, half park. Is Mothership the system that is super lethal for the PCs? I think it is super lethal to the PCs, but I think that's a whole bunch of systems. So how am I gonna do mod circle? I always find it useful when I'm doing maps like this to try and think of like a centerpiece that I'm going to frame it around. So with the Argent Sector, it was all about getting this train station in and making it feel like a part of the map. And I did it fairly early, and that was kind of crucial to me. So I really want to get that look going. Because I can't just sort of go, oh Jesus, I'm not doing that. I can go. Hang on. Let me go grab the right assets and set them right. There's this rough wall thing. I could set it to 25 exponential What in the exponential curve? I can also grab thin wall. What do you got? Packs, please. I'm an old user. I'm old. I'm not used to seeing it organized in these weird ways. Yeah, rough wall is probably what I want. And I can go, and look, there we have a little circle thing. But is that what I want? Maybe I can put some sort of asset in the middle of it. See ya, P-Quicks. Thanks for joining. I'm trying to remember other games. I picked up a whole bunch of games recently. Daggerheart. I haven't tried Daggerheart yet, but I'm excited too. I assume whenever I try it, I'll make a review, but I haven't tried it yet. I do want to try it before December because I want to try the Drylands of the Colossus. Specifically because I want to make a video about a Tarask, and I want to get that done soon. Because in the Drylands of the Colossus, you fight monsters based, and like the legs all have stat blocks and stuff, and I think it's really cool. So I want to make a D&D Tarask that works like that. What would be in the center of like a really nice palace? No, not palace, but like a roundabout park thing. Hey, Jason. Yeah, you got me live. Expensive part of town. Sounds like a mansion, big garden. Yeah, but first I think there's like a public park. We can get like an obelisk statue. Fountain. It would be good if it wasn't just like a fountain icon, but like water feature. Monument, pavilion, statue. Not just a park. No. It's like it's this whole it's a park and it's a roundabout. It's somehow it's like a civil works feature. Big archway, yeah. Victory arch, yeah. Gazebo. Does the gazebo move? Is the gazebo looking at me? Could be like an old sort of temple thing. Old wizard's tower. Stack it on top of something. That sounds cool. Because we can also go to like other assets and see if there's anything there. Somebody's a giant sword. I don't think we're doing that. I don't think it's going to fit with our sort of Victorian Blackguard, theming. But it might do. Because it also would be old. It wouldn't be a part of the sort of district as it is currently. It will be an old part of the city. Drink break. I now have a mute button on my stream deck. So look, blah blah, and you can't hear anything. Ha ha ha. Check the hell stuff. Good God. No, I don't think so. No, that's all cool though. Hell axe. I think water feature is the sort of thing that's gotten me the most excited so far. Because what if I put in like a hill, and then I build little lakes around the hill, but there are still pathways up onto the hill, and then I put something fancy on the hill. Is that a thing? I don't know. Because I want it to be extraordinary, but not fantastical. It's sort of the line we gotta tread here. Really old tree. Can we get a bigger... Yes. You and he were buddies, weren't you? So, hang on. Let's experiment here. It doesn't have to be massive, but it shouldn't be small either. Old tower. Y'all are asking very complicated questions. See, the thing about Blackguard is that part of it is that there's a lot of lore, and a part of it is that there isn't. And what has a lot of lore and what doesn't has a lot to do with the scale at which I've mapped the city. So I tend to zoom in more on individual bits of the lore as we go along. So there are plenty of kings and wizards and things that we could attribute this to. And if I find the answer to that, I don't think I'm going to be any closer to knowing how to draw a map of what I see in my head, which I think is kind of like a public works thing. And I don't think is all that old. It could be. It could be very old. It could have an old root to it. But I actually think it has more to do with the way corporations work in Atroxia, and that's a very new phenomenon. For anybody who's joining us right now, this whole thing is me making a district map, much like a district that just appeared in our zine. This is what that district looked like. And our zine is the Broadsheet, which we have available right now on our Patreon. You can sign up there on any of the tiers, but if you are an adept tier or above, you would get access to our zine, which the first issue is called The Road to Blackguard. It's 56 pages, I think 18 of which are an adventure, 16 a guide to this district, and then another 12 a guide to my campaign setting of Atroxia in a sort of overview fashion. And you would sort of know what it is that I'm doing, because right now we're going to go from making this district, we're going to make the next district over. And here you can see where the Argent Sector is. Here you can see the next district over interchange. And that's all going to come together on this map. Thanks, Gunnar. We put a lot of work into that thing. Statement of industry, statement of trade. I think it's mostly a statement of wealth. I think it's mostly a, look, it's the best real estate in the city, and look at how empty it is. We could have fit 10,000 people here, but we didn't. Real world public works. My world has a lot of fantastical things in it, but the human civilizations are not those things. They are fantastical in the way mundane, modern things are fantastical. I think I'm going to take this big thing. And then I think I'm going to make... maybe it is all the way over to the lake. Maybe I was wrong. Ideally, it is the roundabout from going from Bank Street over to Quay Wharf. That is basically... It's basically a very nice roundabout. What makes it so nice? I don't know. Oh, I should have, ages ago, I should have gone in here, foreground, and put in whatever horrible street texture. Is that it? I think it was one of the Gothic... Yeah, that's the one. Texture size, we're working at a quarter scale, so it's 25, and we just go fill. Gross. A stream. See, I like that idea. Like it's a water feature. Like it's a hill and water comes out and into the rest. Zine is magazine, yeah. It's a digital magazine. The Broadsheet. It's I'm really proud of it. We put a lot of work into that thing. Yeah, statue, historical landmark, really old building. Yeah, it might have a statue in the middle. Hello! Exclamation. So you know. Because what if it is like a water feature, but it's got this sort of river path around it, and then it's got little bridges connecting everything. But then it doesn't look like much. Then it just sort of looks a little gross. Basically, it would look. It would look closer to this. You know. An old ship. Yes, that's awesome. Yeah, Atrox is a huge naval power. Hell, this might be the Indomitable. Maybe not. That's really cool. What's a ship doing there? That's awesome. On a pedestal, we could put like a building underneath it, and the ship on top. Huge naval sort of nation overall, Atroxia. Got cannons and stuff like that. Radioactive simple. Yeah, you're not wrong. I don't know how to fix this. I sort of hate it. Because what I can do is I can go grab these things, put them here, and then put the little waterfall icons on them. These suckers. And they're somehow like pumping water out of the tower. Put it down, up. We'll have to grab these towers, put them up a layer. Like they're somehow pumping the water out, you know? They got these waterfalls. What was the process, Lily and the Bee? The broadsheet is amazing. Thank you so much. What was the process of procuring the amazing art in it? My friend Brimrún is a professional concept artist. She did all the concepts for Echoes of the End and journal art stuff in there. And we reached out to her and we were like, would you like to draw a bunch for us? And she said, yeah. So I pitched her a whole bunch of stuff, and she added on top. What's great about working with Brimrún, she's as a concept artist, she's really good at taking a half-baked idea and putting it into 3D. And then AB did a whole bunch of art as well. She did the lead box, the skull, the badge, and she's had a lot of fun doing just these sort of. Well, she actually hates drawing objects. I don't know why I said she had a lot of fun doing it, but I had a lot of fun getting her to do it. Haha. And then all the maps I made myself in Inkarnate. And then there are a couple of full body characters that a fan made. Devon Wright sent us art of our Kingmakers, and we've been using that. We've been using that to sort of add a little bit more art, especially for when I go over on page count, because I do that a lot. I think I know what the page count's going to be, and then it's something else. Maybe the only way for it to not look like the radioactive symbol is to make it not be the radioactive symbol. Just adding in a fourth thing. Maybe they kind of connect. Oh, now we're back to radioactive symbol. Wild. The natural shape of the lake is a little odd as a statement for Atroxia. They're so man over nature. Yeah. I'll tell her that, Lily and B. But I think you're right, Magnus. I don't know how to do anything about that. Because the other thing is, what if it's just like a literal stream? Because I do think it should be a sort of symbol of, hey, we conquered nature, and now made it our punk. Jan, if you don't want to use Photoshop to draw the continents, we've got a video on the channel about drawing continents using Inkarnate's Parchment Worlds map generator, which is sort of what I'd recommend for anyone who doesn't want to go the whole Inkarnate route. Smoother edges? Yeah, but so the thing is, I can do that. But I can't make the roughness any lower, so the only other thing I could do is literally just go... And I certainly think it looks less natural. I also just don't think it looks good. The roughness doesn't go lower. I think the smooth is not a reference to the edges, but the... Oh god. What just happened? Hang on a minute. Hang on. It's just... Help. It's just blinking. Let's save. Because, oh my god, I've done a bunch of work. Oh, you're from Edinburgh? Exclamation. I was in Edinburgh just a little bit ago. Oh, it is. It is broken. What the hell? What the fuck? Thank you, Freaky Doorknob. I'm currently struggling. What the fuck? Okay, so it just... Okay. Alright. We'll manage. Hang on. Hang on. We'll get there. Everybody relax. Don't nobody go nowhere. Draw the river again. Alright. You should have come by to what? To say hi. Oh, yeah. I went to a couple of game stores. I was looking for Shadow Dark. Couldn't find it. So, I like the idea of it being a bunch of small islands. So I might go and add these little mounds. But then I really do have to add a fourth one, because otherwise this is all going to be positively busted, you know? How good is the layering in this? Can I use a big fountain as a water base and then put islands inside it? You mean literally the fountain icon? Like this? In theory. Uh, I can... I can also go and create this sort of thing. Move it. And then put the water in. Then obviously I could switch it on onto the smooth version, because that won't matter because we have a little border. So I can go add. Hope it doesn't absolutely delete itself in the interim. There we go. But I also think it should be navigable via paths or something, but maybe we just use bridges to get that effect across. Bridges and towers. I'd say Castellet fortifications. Oh, it's a bastion. Yeah, I don't think that's right. Classic Star Bastion layout. Looks gorgeous. We could just make it a pointed. That's not a bad idea. So instead of that, we go. You know what I mean? Let's fill this up again. Let's take this nonsense. We'll put it away. And let's go use the pen tool to our advantage here. Crop circles, I think, is too intricate. Like a compass rose. Yes. Like a compass rose. This is the compass. That's not bad. Can I... Hang on. Let's make it even easier for us. Don't they have a compass rose? Cracking the code, everybody. This is it. This is it right here. Billion dollar idea. Hell yeah, look at that. Gross, but we're gonna make it work. So we're gonna go nert. Actually, can I? No! Mother. Please. God damn it. God damn it. I think we all just witnessed the moment when I quit YouTube. I think this was it right here. All right, we're back. Well, let's redo everything again. See, I wonder if it's because I've got that huge asset on the bottom as a guide. But if I remove it, then and this happens again, then I can't unfuck it. Now, obviously, the houses have been built with a little bit of an expectation from the river. All right. One more go, everybody. One more go. That's not bad. Oh, thank you, Gunnar. Oh, let's save. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. We're actually we're in kind of a scary spot. I haven't told Magnus this or Anna, but our PayPal just shut itself, just completely disabled itself, and locked us out of the accounts. So all the work we do with sponsors is now up in the air as to whether or not that works or we'll be getting paid. So we're in a really scary spot right now. So direct help like that, we really appreciate. Thanks so much. Thank you kindly. Now it's a very lumpy star we made. Somebody said there was another compass. In what was it? Buy more RAM. I think I have 64 gigs. I have a beast here, but thank you. I really appreciate that. The super chat, I appreciate. The comment I'm neutral on. You might be correct. I think I need more VRAM. I think my graphics card has been struggling. Hey, Mad, welcome to the show. Who was saying something about a map, about a compass earlier? Parchment World. Parchment World. Scarlight. Thanks so much. Yeah, they've got a couple of cool ones. Look at that. Hell yeah, and it can be massive. I love it when it can be massive. Can we shrink it? Yes. Yes. Okay, this is what we're doing. Ignore previous nonsense. This is the new nonsense. So we go inert. That too intense? It might be. Oh, that's cool though, isn't it? Yes. So what we do is, we then go in here, we add, you know, oh God, I can't see anything I'm doing. Oh, I'm not subtracting. Oh, thank you, Jonathan. Thank you so much. Why is the compass not aligned with the north? Good point. Why wouldn't they align it with the north? Oh, yeah. 100%. 100%. They would. Can we make it even bigger? Make it huge. Massive. There we go. All right. Oh, give map. Oh, sorry. Hang on. Here you go. Look. It's stupid now, but it'll be great later. It's also the preface I tell everybody before I say a joke.
Keeps crashing.
Oh. Stream, sometimes certain things don't work.
Yeah, it's when I stream things don't work.
Yeah.
It's because there are more people watching. This never happens when I'm on my own. Never undo. Yeah. God forbid a software can undo things. Did I mention this has been a tough day? Save and leave. All right. Ooh. I might try changing the editing resolution from 4K, but then I can't see the orientation of the houses. It's been fine for dozens of maps so far. That doesn't mean it isn't the problem. It might well be. Phil. Try to contain my rage. If this happens, 10 more minutes of this and I'm gonna get mad. We might have to cancel what's left of the show. Just because I will not be able to keep redoing this and also keep pretending like I'm fine. At some point, I will have an emotional breakdown. And I think it's better for our professional relationship if you and I are not doing that together. All right? All right. No undoing. It might be because we're streaming. Yeah, it's putting more resources into streaming. Undo. No. Go add. We'll slowly fill all this in. Compass Rose. Whoever came up with the ship and whoever came up with the Compass Rose, you deserve a reward. I could do one polygon. No, piss off. Oh. Not taking any chances. Just gonna gently fill in the blanks. And that'll be that. Okay. And somebody was wondering if the map wasn't aligned north. It is. I have occasionally done maps that aren't aligned north, and they always just confuse me, and I say the wrong directions to my players. So I align my maps north now. Gorgeous. So, want to try bringing back the islands? We can. Try plopping them in. Oh, they are. Well, that's okay. So these can go on land. Uh-huh. I can add more. And then I'm going to need a slightly smaller one here for the middle. Oh, I undid. Playing with fire. It's fine, I'll catch the ship later. Big ship. Oh yeah. Shouldn't the towers be on the cardinal directions? Wouldn't they take pride in that? I feel like they would. Pompous assholes. There we go. Oh, these Atroxians had a field day making this. They were like, oh, it's ships. It's water. It's beaten nature into submission. There they are smoking their pipes going, yes, good show, good show. Then we'll grab the centerpiece. Point it northward. Statues of famous admirals. Yes. Hi, Valder. How you doing? Did you say hi to me outside the nerd store the other day, Valder? We'll get nightmares about the Series S frame rates. Oh, God, don't mention that. Goo Master, we're making a district. We're making a borough map for Blackguard, which is the main setting of the Broadsheet, available now on the Patreon for anyone supporting us at the Adept tier. You can get last month's issue, which is now 3 days old, and if you use the coupon code NIGHTTRAIN, you get 15% off. And I am now preparing next month's issue by making a district map for the next district. Statues of famous admirals I do like. So we're going to go grab this brush, make sure it's set to 25, and we're going to color in these bits, because obviously they would be... Oh, hang on. Carefully, we need to fill in this hill here. There we go. Thanks, Lily and the Bee. I'm really proud of the zine, so I really want people to read it. I've been telling AB and Magnus that it's a lot of pages, so I understand that a lot of people might download it and they might go, ooh, interesting, and they might not read it. And I really want to be able to talk to people about it. I want people to tell me about their setting and how they run it and how it's different from other things they might run. Victoria Mallory statue. Yes, they would. God, would they? Would they tear it down? We could put a ruined statue. Oh, you don't think so? You're not going to. Well, all right. I'm pretty sure I met Valor outside the nerd store. All right. Y'all best be impressed with my freehanding. I'm going to put some holes in it, actually. Lots of Control Z right there. Dangerous. So wouldn't they put they wouldn't put them here. They'd put them there. So they would be like that. No, that's a bastion. Stop it. It's a star bastion. Don't be like that. Also, it's Danish. Gross. Ew. That's a joke. God, no. I'm bored from it. And I'm clicking undo a lot. Tempting fate here. Then what we do is we put a bunch of trees. You all thought we were going to be making a cool little district. Uh-huh. I'm actually just making a water feature. Muhaha. Tree, tree, tree. Tree, tree. Tree, tree. Then we take this brush, we go all the way up to the border with it. Oh, you like the adventure? Oh, that's great, Gunnar. We put a lot of work into that thing. It was so fun running it, but it was kind of brilliant because I got to just sort of write a mystery adventure for myself. I should talk about this. I wrote the mystery adventure for the zine, and I wrote it in bullet points, and it was very like bare bones. But I had this whole plot about what was going to happen, and then I sat down in front of some players, and we play tested it. And Magnus sat in the corner with a laptop, texting me his ideas and writing down anything I said that wasn't in my notes. So I would invent stuff where I'd rely on stuff that I've been using as I've been running Blackguard for many, many years now. So I would just sort of say things off the cuff. I would go, oh yeah, this works like that. And then he'd go, oh, new people don't know that. And he'd type it down. And then he took his notes and my notes and he wrote a whole adventure out of it and sent it back to me. And I did a little bit of rewriting and layout on it. But mostly that sort of collaborative process was kind of amazing because we both got to add our own flair to it. It was great. And then obviously I had to do the all the setting guide stuff. And we filled that up with plot hooks. I'm talking about the broadsheet. We filled it up with like adventure seeds and plot hooks and stuff like that, and they would kind of layer out. So if you're a new DM, you kind of open up and they say, oh, this is a bar, and then there's an adventure seed, rats in the basement, or there's a gang here, and here's a little adventure seed there. It was a lot of fun. What can I get a different brush on the top of the hill? Grass simple. Grass detail dark. These brush names are always like product names on Amazon. I have no idea. It's just a string of words. That is mildly different, but I was sort of hoping for slightly more different. Maybe. I'll probably have to get rid of the compass now. No, that's gross. I can't. That's too bright. Maybe I do need to just get one of these on there. Ew. That's not bad. If I put some trees or whatever. It's kind of crap though. There we go. Yeah, that's more believable to me as hills. You forget a lot of the time when you're doing artsy stuff is how much of arts is just layering. Is like adding things on top of each other. Like with the adventure, just sitting down running a mystery adventure. It's never going to be fully complete on the first go, so what do? Well, we get Magnus to put a bunch of fun little details in there, and then I go and I add my own little details, and we just add and add and add. And that way the thing, the art or the product or whatever you want to call it, it becomes better as we add more stuff. Oh god, sorry, map. Here you go. Look at that. It's kind of brilliant. Good job on the compass rose, Scarlet. Scarlet. Sorry, I forgot the map. Rioting works. So generals on all the hills, or admirals? Make them all face the ship. Hang on. This is why I need 4K editing. I would not be able to see what I'm doing even a little tiny bit without it. Yeah, look at that. Oh my god, thank you so much, Scarlet. I appreciate that. What we really want to do here is just talk to people and make sure everybody gets excited about the game. It's such an incredible hobby, and there's so much negativity out there of people just being absolutely mean for no apparent reason when I see no reason not to just love what we do all the time. So thank you. I really appreciate the support. That means the world to us, especially right now when PayPal is playing fast and loose with whatever laws they say they abide by. No, you're right! Exclamation. They really didn't. Have you seen that Hank Green video where he's ranking AI logos by how much they look like buttholes? What else do we put on here? We can put a bunch of trees. I'll probably leave that for last. It is weird being a bummer in this space. I don't know. I don't know where people get off. It's there's a bunch of stuff about a bunch of games that don't appeal to me, but I try not to talk about those things because they appeal to other people, and everyone deserves to have fun. And that is kind of the impetus of this whole hobby. It's a private thing we do in our living room. You could make a game, you could make an RPG, and make it only appeal to 6 people, and those people will still have a blast playing it, and they'll love playing the whole time. So I don't know why that has to, why you have to put anything else out on the internet. A lot of times in private, I'm talking to my friends and I'm saying, you know, I don't like this, or I don't like that, or I really hate this system, or I really hate this mechanic, or I really hate this class, or something. I don't go on the internet to talk about that. I don't have to. I talk about the stuff I like, tell you folks about it. That's how it should be. I remembered to click back on the map. Look at that. I am unstoppable. We can put some more statues. We can put trees, obviously. We could have little boats on the lake. I don't think that makes a lot of sense. Leafy bushes. Modular flower bushes. Those are adorable. Look at that. Do they make sense? I don't know. Quality is too low for me to know whether or not they're going to look good or hideous when I'm done. We could start by carefully drawing roads on this and see where that gets us. Dark street stones. These? Yeah. So we put them at 25. They should sort of connect. We can even use the broken ones. Put them at 25. Oh, they don't really look like anything. Oh, I put them at 5. Oh yeah, that's perfect. That's great. What's wild is that we're going to do all this work, and then when it goes into the next issue of the zine, it's just going to have a little label on it that says, you know, Mont Circular or the Compass Rose or whatever, and that's going to be it. Jeff Bridges. Yes. Bit of lag there. Nobody worry about that. Still want bridges. Yeah, right? I think so. I think we can add bridges from these elements maybe. So bridge. Oh yeah, they're plenty long. You can even get like a really long one if we want. Come on, connect like that. So we want. Panic. Yeah, Hannah, exactly. Right. Don't spend energy on hating a thing. And don't spend energy and time and all that on hating it publicly. Yeah. No need to. There's plenty of awful stuff all the time, everywhere. I don't need to make there be more of it. Would they be wood? We could try a wood one. Are they from all the things? Yeah, right? Different lengths and stuff, that's probably fine. This one's fucking miles away, look at that. Just like that. And then get on the other side here as well. Doesn't it kind of ruin the top-down look, though? Swirling land bridge like a rose pattern. See ya, Scarlet. Thanks so much. Good luck with your game. I think it kind of ruins the look. Too many bridges. Is there a way to walk across each bridge exactly once and end up where you started? That is the kind of park trivia that that would follow along. Perhaps the way over is the magic of boat. That does sound fun. I don't... It depends on whether or not that is sort of the appeal, is like going over and across. It might be. It might also be that I just put down 2. You know? Just go like bridge. Bridge. Or 3? Oh, hang on. I don't mind if it makes it a little asymmetrical. But like, that doesn't feel bad to me. Four bridges, yeah. We could also put one here if we wanted, if we definitely want 4. I just feel as soon as that one's in, now the bridge is at different lengths. So 3, I think, it looks like the flux capacitor. Which is, as we all know, what makes time travel possible. Hell yeah. See, the thing is, as soon as I move it to any of the other locations, folks, like there's no way to get it completely symmetrical, because this one won't go down here. That's absurd. If I move it there and there and there, you were saying? Hook crafter. No. Two bridges. Bridges were other ships. No, I think that's too much as well. I'm also thinking these things might go off of the islands and go like here. Undoing. You can't divide it by 3. No. Symmetry is impossible. Yeah. It is. We could divide it directly in 2. But even then, this isn't a perfect compass rose. It's just one I sort of sketched up. So, you know. And if we make them 2 and 2, because the compass rose isn't perfect, they're going to be lopsided, and they're not going to look symmetrical, right? So even if I go 2 and 2 here, now this one's not bad, right? But then I have to pick or skip, because this one's too big, right? So I gotta go grab the other one. Now that's all fine and dandy, but now they're 2 different sizes, and that feels different, right? Alternating bridges and towers. So like from tower to tower, we'd go, you know, that's not a bad look actually. And then the waterfalls are coming like out of the towers like this. That's not bad. I don't know if that's what you meant, but that's what I've decided you meant. Then no matter where else we put it, it is always going to be a little wonky. Move the middle island. Yep, that's not bad. It's a little mess, but... That's a bit better. And then what, the other one here? Fucking hell, Magnus. Let's make a district. And here I am, just distracted by actually hyperfixating on a very specific part of the district. Yeah. Yeah. That's me. We'll do a part 2. Called Let's Actually Do a District. We don't overthink it. I think you're right. I think we had it pretty good earlier with just 3 of them being sort of asymmetrical. You know? I think you're right, Goo Master. I think we're done. I think we just have to make it away and leave it that way. Alright, I'm going to do one more swing at this. I'm going to go across like that, and I'm going to make the island make sense. So if I go like this, my last attempt, and then I promise I'm done with this stupid thing. Is it cross like this? Yeah, that's what I'm doing. If you're thinking, but that's not what I want, then too bad, make your own city. This is my city. They'll walk if I tell them to. There we go. That's just how it is. That's just how it's going to be. Does this place have a significance in the world? Look at it. It's gorgeous. Seems significant to me. Alright, I could spend ages on trees here, but I'm not going to right now. I think this is plenty for us to move on. Although it is almost midnight here in the land of the ice and snow, so I might be cutting off the stream a little bit before the map riots stop and AB riot starts. She's engrossed in her game. We're fine. We can sneak a little more mapping. No, I said I was going to do a fancy district here. Why didn't anybody stop me? No, need a breather. We're done. Can't do it. We can keep messing with the bridges, or we can keep making a map, but we can't do both. Fancy houses. Yes. Significant in the sense that they built this instead of houses. They are wealthy. This is one of the wealthiest districts, wealthiest boroughs in the city. It is owned by a corporation. They are doing this to show off. A corporation bought this. This is what you get for missing the zine. Other clone. Corporation bought this. This is a private borough. One of the many private boroughs inside the city. And that means they can do stuff like that. Maybe there was a bunch of houses here and they tore them down. I don't know. I haven't had to figure it out just yet. But that is the kind of stuff they get up to. And they're just fine doing that stuff. Doesn't bother them one bit. Oh, thank you, Seven Deadly Sins. Thank you so much. Am I writing my name with the houses? No. Why? What I also did when I was doing the other zine with the other district is I did a lot of just sort of boxes. Undo. God. Am I gonna just have undo PTSD now? So what I did is I did a bunch of these. Should be talking instead of focusing on drawing little boxes, but here we are. One of these days I'll learn how to be a stream man. Oh yeah, I love City Skylines. I do so much City Skyline stuff. Like, I love that. I haven't played the new one. Apparently, there was a bunch of bad reviews on it when I went looking into it. I just never did anything about that. So I just sort of called it a day there. 21 minutes since last save. Save. Thank you, Captain Cocoa Puff. It's been a fantastic time. I don't know. I mean, we're obviously not going to finish this today. Even if we hadn't spent one eternity on a roundabout, we would not have finished this today. But I think I'm perfectly happy calling it right now. And trying to figure out how else to make a district later. I might do another stream. We might stream again talking about how to make a district. What are those boxes for? The boxes, they're gonna have houses in them. So hang on, we're not done. They're gonna be little courtyards. Fancy house. One fancy house, please. So I'll go and I'll put in a little house like that. And then I'll get the brush and we'll go neater. You know, put some trees in. You know, it's a fancy estate. I'm going to play City Scout. You can't stop me. No, I'm probably gonna go watch a movie or something. Yeah, they're like fences, exactly. Well, that was me working on this map. I know people are taking bets on whether or not I'm going to change this big roundabout, but I think I'm sick and tired of it. But obviously it'll have trees and roads and parks and stuff in it later. And I'm going to have to fill all of this up, and we're going to add a lot more interesting features. I might do another stream of this. We'll see. This is a good way to get me to do it. Get me to actually work on this. So this has been lovely. Yeah, they're extra fancy houses. After midnight. I don't have school. I'm self-employed. Thanks so much for watching. If you like the idea of getting a district like this and getting 12 pages on what is in the district, on all the special locations and why things are the way they are, the lore of each place, that's not going to be this district right now, but in a month you'll get this district. But right now, if you head on over to our Patreon, you would get the Broadsheet, which is a digital magazine that we at Mystic Arts made. Me, along with Magnus and AB, our friend Brimbrun and Ivar. We put together this document about the district called the Argent Sector. There's an adventure that comes with it, a mystery on a train where there's a lead box. The players don't know what's in there, but there's something juicy. And after you arrive in the city via the train, you arrive in the district of the Argent Sector, and they tell you, and in the magazine, it's all about how corporations run this, how people fear the arcane, how there is an oligarch president, and things are looking dire for the people of the Atroxian Republic. You can head on over to our Patreon, you can back it there, grab it for the Adept tier or above, and you'd be supporting us directly, which we would appreciate the crap out of, especially right now when PayPal is giving us a scare. And thankfully, we've got our Patreon connected to another thing, so hopefully we're going to be all clear on that front. Thanks so much for watching. This channel is run by me and my girlfriend, and I'm going to click the little button that makes her wave. Look at that. She's waving. She's also behind me. She might wave from behind me. Abby? Wave. Yes. We appreciate you all. If you're feeling especially generous, you might like the video, comment, share, or subscribe. And until next time, keep studying the Mystic Arts.